Everyone thought Ethan Hale was innocent. That was the one thing everyone agreed on. He was quiet, polite, the kind of man who kept his head down and never raised his voice. When people talked about him, they used words like harmless, gentle, unlucky. Some even said he was too soft for the world he lived in. So when the police cars stopped outside his house on a cold Tuesday morning, nobody believed it had anything to do with him. Not his neighbors, not his co-workers, not even Lena, the woman who had lived beside him for 6 years. But innocence has a strange way of cracking. And when the truth finally came out, it didn't explode loudly. It whispered. By the time people realized who Ethan really was, it was already too late. Ethan Hale had lived on Brookfield Street for almost a decade. Same house, same routine, same neutral expression. Every morning at 6:40 a.m., he left his house wearing a gray coat and black gloves, even when the weather didn't demand it. He worked as a night shift security assistant at a warehouse on the edge of town, a job that paid little and required even less interaction. To most people, Ethan barely existed. His neighbor Lena Brooks noticed him more than most. Not because he stood out, but because he never did. He brought her mail when it was delivered to the wrong house. He shoveled her driveway once after a heavy snowfall. He never asked for anything in return. When Lena's friends visited, they'd sometimes see him through the window, sitting alone in his living room with the lights dimmed, watching nothing in particular. "He looks lonely," one of them once said. Lena agreed. And loneliness, people believed, was his worst crime. The town didn't panic when Maya Collins went missing, at first. Maya was 26, impulsive, and known for disappearing for days at a time whenever life felt too heavy. She worked at a cafe downtown and talked often about leaving town for something bigger. So when she didn't show up for work on Monday, her manager shrugged. By Wednesday, people started asking questions. By Friday, the police got involved. Lena remembered seeing Maya just once, crossing the street late at night, arguing on the phone. She'd looked shaken, angry. No one connected Maya to Ethan. Why would they? It was raining the night the police knocked on doors. Routine questions. Did you see anything unusual? Anyone unfamiliar in the area? When they reached Ethan's house, he answered calmly. Yes, he'd seen Maya. She'd asked for directions weeks ago. Nothing strange. The officer nodded, checked a box, and moved on. But Lena noticed something odd. Ethan's hands were trembling. Not dramatically. Not enough for anyone else to care. Just enough for someone who had seen him every day to feel it was off. When Lena asked him later if he was okay, he smiled. Just tired, he said. She believed him. Everyone always did. 2 weeks passed. No sign of Maya. The town grew restless. Posters went up. Candlelight vigils were held. Ethan attended one. He stood at the back, head bowed, holding a candle like everyone else. He didn't cry. He didn't speak. He didn't leave early. Someone whispered, "Poor guy, he looks shaken." Lena glanced at him again. This time, she noticed something else. His coat, the same gray coat. Always the same one, even indoors. That night, Lena couldn't sleep. Something small, something irrational, kept bothering her. A thought she didn't want to finish. Why does he never take it off? The smell came first. Not strong, not obvious, just wrong. Lena smelled it one evening while taking out the trash. It drifted from Ethan's side of the house, faint but unsettling, like damp concrete mixed with rust. She told herself it was nothing. But the next day, police returned. This time with a warrant, a new lead. A neighbor had reported strange noises weeks earlier, scraping sounds at night. Construction maybe, or maybe not. Ethan didn't resist when they asked to search the house. He simply nodded and stepped aside. That's when everything changed. The basement door was locked. That alone wasn't illegal. What was illegal was what they found behind it. The room was clean. Too clean, no furniture. No windows, just concrete walls and a drain in the floor. And beneath a false panel near the back wall, evidence. Belongings: a scarf. A phone, Maya's phone. Ethan sat quietly upstairs as the officers called it in. When they finally placed him in handcuffs, he didn't protest. He just said one thing. She trusted me. The interrogation lasted hours. Ethan didn't deny what he'd done. But the story he told wasn't the one people wanted. He didn't describe rage or passion, or an accident. He described patience. He spoke about watching people, learning them, waiting. About how being invisible meant being underestimated. "I never forced her," he said calmly. "She stayed because she felt safe." The room went silent. This wasn't a monster people recognized. This was something worse. The town felt betrayed. Neighbors replayed memories, searching for signs they'd missed. Every kind gesture now felt tainted. Lena stopped walking past Ethan's house. The gray coat became a symbol. Not of cold, but of concealment. At the trial, people packed the courtroom. They stared at Ethan, trying to reconcile the quiet man they knew with the truth they now had. They couldn't. Ethan was sentenced. The case was closed, but something lingered. Lena would later say the hardest part wasn't discovering what he did. It was realizing how easily she believed he couldn't. Innocence, she learned, isn't proven by silence. Sometimes it's perfected by it. Everyone thought he was innocent, and that's exactly why no one saw it coming.